Yeah, baby, we're back. How are you today?
It's hard to concentrate with all these books around me.
I know.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality.
Hey, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in to the one, the only No Vacancy Live. That's Anthony Melchiori over there with a little feedback. I'm Glenn Hausman. How are you doing there, buddy?
Feedback? I have feedback?
A little bit. It seems to be gone now. I think we're okay. How are you? What's going on? I would like to say before you speak, I'm under a lot of pressure today, Anthony, because I've got this pulled pork going on, and it's going to hit temperature before I have to switch in about 5 degrees. So we're going to see what's going to come first. Is my pulled pork going to be ready for switch up? Or is this show going to go on longer and put me under additional hot pressure?
Well, you say pulled pork, but before you said pork butt. So is it pulled pork or pork butt?
The pork butt is in the process of becoming my pulled pork meal. So I've got to, when it hits 160 degrees internally, I've got to wrap it in foil and add some apple cider to it.
If you could only see how much I care, it would be.
It's really registering through the screen that you just do not give a giant F. But this is my burden.
So what do you want to do? You want to talk about the chicken or the egg first?
All right, I'd like to talk about the fact that the egg came first because whatever was before the egg was not quite chicken. It was one moment away from chicken.
I love when our guests show up, but I also love sometimes when our guests don't show up. And this is
I don't know what the problem is here, which is weird because we've had a gajillion hours of conversation with this particular company. So whatever.
Yeah. But that's good because that gives us a chance to talk about zero.
Yeah. And I will say, Anthony, your voice is a little low. Could you please check your settings? And meanwhile, I put you up as much as I can on the mic, but it still doesn't sound all that great.
Are you sure my voice isn't sounding beautiful?
Well, for you folks listening on the audio only feed, I put it through Adobe Enhance, an audio feature, so it'll sound absolutely crystal clear. But for the live version, it's a little bit choppy.
Better? Is this a
little bit better? Yeah. Anyway, go on, Anthony.
So we talk about customer service. We're going to talk a lot about technology next week at the high tech event. So it's really customer service and technology all kind of colliding is what's happening today, right?
Correct. So let's take a moment and do an official plug. This coming Tuesday, 8:30 a.m., Anthony and I are the featured keynote speakers at High Tech. We'll be appearing right after the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And we're going to be talking about keeping the humanity in our industry as technology seemingly wants to take over. All right, buddy, you take it away.
So are they going to surprise us with getting us into the Hall of Fame?
That would be really nice. I mean, it would be a great promotion from the Hall of Shame that I'm already in,
Did I tell you I am actually in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, the Air Force Hall of Fame, which is freaking amazing.
Hall of Fame. So if you go to Alabama and you go to the Air Force Hall of Fame, there's two wings. The wing where heroes and the wing with zeros. And I'm in the zero wing. I'm in the wing where people who brought great credit upon the Air Force go. So if you had a business career,
right,
TV personality, movie, whatever, you're in that wing.
That's awesome.
And the wing is for the real heroes.
Right. The ones that actually made a difference within the Air Force. Yeah.
That is correct. And I will challenge you on that. I made a difference when I was in the Air Force. I typed 90 words a minute. Okay?
Dude, don't sell yourself short. You also made a great cup of coffee, from what I understand.
No, I poured coffee, and the coffee's hot. So there were stealth bomber pilots next to me, and I was pouring coffee. So what's more dangerous, flying a stealth bomber, or pouring really hot coffee? You decide.
I would be being on the wrong end if the coffee wasn't up to snuff with those rock stars.
So let me tell you a little bit of history about some customer service I have. I am a very big fan of Nordstrom's. Now, I've bought all my suits, clothes. I've bought a lot of stuff at Nordstrom's over the years.
Hey, so did I.
Nordstrom's, you kind of go with the mindset that I'm going to spend money. I'm not going to get as many clothes as I would somewhere else.
That's right.
Customer service and quality of clothes, I'm willing to bite the bullet and
That's right.
spend X amount of dollars on a suit or a shirt.
Yep.
I walk into Nordstrom's with my lovely wife to buy some shirts, and this young lady's helping me, and all of a sudden this older guy comes over, and I'm using Nordstrom on purpose, and I'll tell you why in a second. So he comes over to me,
Yeah.
and he said, "Do you know what you have there?" And I had 4 shirts. I go, "Yeah, I have shirts." And he said, "But there's 3 for 2. I'll say it for two something, over $200, and then there's a shirt for $50." I'm like, "Okay, what's your point? I don't understand." And he goes, "Well, you know what you got?" I go, "Yeah, I got 4 shirts I got to try on."
Yeah.
I didn't look at the price yet. I didn't say that, but I hadn't looked at the prices. I want to see what shirt I like because I've already committed. I'm going to spend a certain amount of money that day on
Right.
shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So he's all rude, and I just kind of ignore him. Me and my wife talking to the lady, and then I go over. Oh, and then he goes, "Are you going to open those shirts? They're in the package." I go, "I don't know. I guess I have to try them on." He goes, "We can't open the shirts." I'm like, well, typically I open the shirts. If you look at my, name in the system, I've been coming here for 12 years,
Yep.
and I spent more than $3 here. So I think I can open up the shirts because I've always opened up the shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he walks away. I go over to the rack with
Mm-hmm.
different shirts that are actually hanging. So I said, let me just get for size these different shirts. So there's one brand I'm a certain size in, another brand I'm a different size in.
Mhm.
So I take it off the rack and he goes, "Do you know what you have? Those are wrong size. Those are different sizes." And now at this point, I'm like, "Dude, what is going on with you?
Yeah. And who is this dude?
You need to slow your roll." He's a sales guy.
Okay.
Slow your roll, bro. So now I'm like, he's just like crazy. I don't know. I'm not going to say he was on something, but
Yeah.
something's weird. And I go, "You know what?" And I take the shirts and I put them down. I'm going to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You know what? I'm going to take my business to Bloomingdale's."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Bye."
What?
That was not a good decision on his part because now you just poked me. And
Yeah.
I don't complain and I don't yell and I don't scream. It's not my nature
Yep.
to do that to salespeople. So I go, "What's your name?" And he said, "I'm not telling you." And I said, "Sir, you just burnt down the building."
Yeah.
Walk away, and now until I talk to the general manager, I'm not leaving. Go get the manager. I tell the manager was lovely. I said, "I don't want a discount. I don't want anything. I don't know if you fire him or don't fire him. I don't care." I said, "But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to bet you a lot of money that this is not the first time you had to talk to this individual."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She smiles and she goes, "It's a work in progress." I said, "Well, I'm a work out of progress and I'm leaving to go to your competitor." So as I leave, I said, my wife says, "Why don't we go to Macy's? They have nice stuff there." So all right, so we'll go to Macy's.
Mm-hmm.
What I spent 1/3 of what I would have spent in Nordstrom's,
Yep.
Macy's, and I bought 8 items.
Mm-hmm.
Where we bought 2 or 3 items and spent triple the amount of money.
Yeah. Right.
So 2 things happened there. One, you lost me that day as
Mm-hmm.
a customer, and you potentially lost me in the future because you just introduced me
Right.
to a competitor that had very nice quality stuff for about 70% less
Right.
than what I would spend in your store. Matter of fact, this shirt I bought at Macy's, and this shirt at Nordstrom's would have been a lot more money. So I love Nordstrom. I'm going to use Nordstrom again. I'm going to buy my stuff at Nordstrom. I'm actually going to buy a suit at Nordstrom soon. But they also opened me up to when I'm in Roosevelt Field to go to Macy's because they have nice stuff there too. All because they know there's a salesperson on their floor who is not up to their standards, but they keep them there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a lesson to all the hoteliers out there that say, "I'm short-staffed. I have no choice. I can't find good people." Well, you just lost a really good customer for no reason.
Yeah.
And loyal customers at Nordstrom's are really your only customers. 80% of Nordstrom's guests are repeat guests. That's just a fake number I just came up with, but I guess it is. Right? And also, Nordstrom's not a store you go to casually to just go buy clothes. I
Mm-hmm.
don't go there often. I go there once a year, maybe 2 years.
Right.
But go, it's like because I really need to upgrade my wardrobe, and I need some stuff, and I'm willing to bite the bullet on the money. This guy, now, if we kind of spin the clock back,
Yep.
a couple of years ago, I was in there and I bought 3 suits, and the gentleman, I forgot something.
Right.
No, the suit when I got home didn't fit me right because they altered it, but it didn't fit right. He said, "I'm leaving the store." It was like 5 o'clock at night. He goes, "I'm leaving the store and I'm coming to your house." Now, just so you know, I live about an hour from where I was shopping, maybe more.
Did you go to Roosevelt Field Mall?
Yeah, and he goes, "Not right," and he goes, "Not necessary." I said, "It's not necessary. I'll bring it tomorrow." And he goes, "No, I'm going to come pick it up." I go, "I'm telling you right now, if you come pick it up, I'm just not going to let you in my house. Like, I don't want you to do that. It's unnecessary, and you're going to spend 3 hours of your life
Right.
getting a suit that I can do tomorrow. I'm going to be out there. Don't worry about it."
Right.
So he didn't come because I told him I wouldn't consider that good service. I would consider that like ridiculous.
But the offer falls under good service.
Because the offer gets me coming back, because that's what I expect. I expected him to say, I wanted him to say that. I wanted him to say, "Let me come pick it up." I really did. And I expect him to do that. But I didn't want him to do it, but I wanted him to say it.
Yeah.
So this bozo lost the business. But the point being is, and I think I mentioned it yesterday, but I'll officially mention it today. I'm officially the chief strategy officer of Colwyn Hotels. Colwyn Hotels is a group of hotels owned by an incredible visionary. And I would say his name, but he doesn't like that, so I won't. And I've worked with them on and off as a consultant for 5 years. I helped develop an executive development program and other things for them.
Yeah.
And decided I'm going to be up in that area in Massachusetts, and working, with them. Still staying in New York, but I'll be up just a couple of days a week, and working from my home office with them, as well as their chief strategist. And what does that mean? That means we have a whole new world after COVID, and they're a growing company, and they are an exceptional company, but things are a little bit different. So we're going to I'm going to help the incredible vice presidents and regionals and general managers and staff that are there with strategy as they continue to grow. So that's my role. You'll be hearing me talk about it more and more. So
Awesome.
if you're in Massachusetts, you're in New England, they have amazing hotels, Colwen, Colwyn Hotels, Chief Strategy Officer. We're going to strategize, Glenn.
Yeah, baby. I love it. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to be able to do over there, because I've stayed in some of their hotels and their teams are awesome already. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see how you can make them even awesomer.
I can tell you the owner, and I've said this before, I think, but I'll say it, and I'll say it again and again and again. I don't know if I've met a smarter person in this business. I will just say there was a very important person from a very important brand with him the other day, and people from brands across the country, across the world, seek his counsel. He's a very, very intelligent man, and it's been a long. I really thought long and hard about with everything else I do, because I'm still doing this. I'm still doing, I still have other things I'm doing. I'm still doing Hotel All Stars, but my focus is going to be as Chief Strategy Officer for Colwyn. And I tell you, I spent all day up there yesterday, and what great people.
Yeah, for sure. And you were actually broadcasting from there yesterday. I love that you're going to be able to balance these things and still be here with us often and still be able to do this. Because I know, Anthony, that at this part of your career, you're really looking forward to getting back to certain things at those property levels to help effectuate change that's going to last long as your legacy.
3 things motivated me. 1, I love the company.
Yep.
2, I made a promise that I will help educate young people to stay in the hotel business, and I've done that. Hotel schools across the country teach Hotel Impossible and teach the fundamentals of hotels because of our show. And 3, it's a new world, and I talk about it. I consult all the time. I'm always talking about today. Well, unless I'm holding stuff, and unless I'm really challenged with some of the things that our team is challenged with, maybe I don't know as much as I think I know. So if I start feeling some of the pain and I start feeling kind of what it is like to run a hotel in 2023, a hotel company in 2024, I'm sorry, um, I think the muscle grows a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm no longer interested in my career. I'm more interested in keeping people in the industry and helping people. And I'm a storyteller, so I'll be telling a lot of stories.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty awesome. I can't wait to see how you get in there and start to do a lot of fun stuff with
Well,
that.
it's interesting when I was seeking counsel from friends,
Mhm.
and I talked to you about it, and they said, "What do you think?" And you loved the idea.
Yeah,
You
it's
thought
great.
it was a good idea.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Anthony, I'm a jack of all trades, right? I do this public facing stuff. I work with companies behind the scenes too. And I think it's a great approach to balance your career by, having different ways to express yourself professionally and creatively.
Yeah, and also we're going to be always looking for deals. So, please, if anybody's bring me deals.
I mean, you're going to start going to some of these hospitality financial conferences?
Yeah, we're doing the keynote next week at High Tech, and I'm actually
Are you?
staying the entire week. Yeah, I'm doing it with some clown from Long Island.
That's
And-
funny. I'm doing it with some joker from Queens. Whoa.
and I'm staying there to really understand technology today. So I usually, me, I get on a plane, come home, but I'm going to office out of Charlotte next week.
And here's somebody totally random that we've never heard of. Someone by the name of Suzanne is saying, Anthony, you have a greater purpose to support our industry. We thank you for that aspect of your willingness to give back.
Who the hell is that?
I know. All right, Dr. Producer, get back to your other stuff. She's not here with us today. She's supposed to be taking some sort of AI class, so that way she can make us sound like we know what we're talking about next week during our keynote.
Yeah, if you're there next week, you definitely don't want to miss the first 5 minutes of our presentation.
That is absolutely true. You got that right. Also, I'd like to also shout out to the good folks over at Nordstrom, because I went recently there to beef up my wardrobe, as I wanted my look to match my style on stage and stuff like that. And I went and paid more at Nordstrom because I wanted that personalized service. I wanted to feel connected with somebody, and I needed that great advice on how to dress, which is a very big weakness on my part. So I found that was a great need. So I was very happy with that.
Can we go back to
Mm-hmm.
Can we go back to when we first started talking? And I would just say, listen, you're the industry. You got to look like the industry looks. And we talked about maybe upgrading your wardrobe, and you didn't listen to me.
I know. I did not listen to you, but hey, during those days of the pandemic, what do we need to update our wardrobe anyway? I had a pair of sweatpants and Crocs. So what's the difference? It all worked. It all worked out. Anthony, next week's going to be great at High Tech for sure, but there's still a lot of great events that I'm going to be going to this summer. For example, there used to be a time in the hospitality industry where nothing would really happen in July and August. But in August alone, I'm going to be speaking at the Southern Lodging Summit, which is going to be great because as I'm smoking a pork butt right now, I'm actually doing a luncheon at the Rendezvous Barbecue place where I'm going to be speaking. So that's exciting. And then also I'm going to a Lending Con where I'm going to be doing a panel with some politicians. So it's amazing how this conference schedule is really picked up, and there's so many more events now than ever before for you to get involved in.
Yeah, and I think we predicted this because we said people are going to work from home. So the companies are going to need to show up more together. And, you're seeing that across the world where people are working from home and they don't see each other very often.
No.
And it's important to be, it's important. Listen, even though we don't see each other, these podcasts are important to me because it really, like yesterday when we were on the podcast with the president,
Charles Oswald, the CEO of Aperture Hotels. Mm-hmm.
I took a lot of notes, right? And but it's important to connect. It really is important. Like the last thing I want to do is sit in an office or sit behind my desk looking into a blank screen trying to create stuff. You create by being around other people.
Yeah, you absolutely do that. Anthony, since we're alone today, we're very busy, so I want to keep this on the short side today. But any other thoughts at the top of your head? that you want to get out there today?
Yes.
Oh,
If you're
good. Because for me, I'm just completely focused on our talk next Tuesday, and like my brain can't handle anything else.
if you're in this business, in the hospitality business,
Mhm.
with your investments, whether you're in human resources, whether you're in sales, whether you're in operations, try to dust off your passion. So if you're a person that's been beat up after COVID and then nobody cared about your, your enlistment into the war of COVID,
Yeah.
and then you got out of the war of COVID and no one gave you a parade,
Mm-hmm.
understand that you're here because you love this business, that you love taking care of people, and I can't do anything else, and I've realized that, and I love this more. I said something to you. I think I said it to you, or I said it to somebody, maybe Kalindra, and I said I just shot a brand new show. It was
Yep.
fun. It was fun, and we'll shoot other episodes, but it wasn't as much fun as I had yesterday
Yeah.
when I was talking with the executive team.
Charles. Mhm. Oh yeah.
And, well, and I know the executive team at
Yeah.
Cohen, and I've been working with them for weeks now. But yesterday was like really, I felt like my first real day of really getting kind of in there.
The proverbial rolling up your sleeves and getting into it kind of feeling.
I had more fun yesterday than I did.
This is what you're supposed to say on every podcast I've ever done with you, Glenn. That would have been the appropriate line. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had one conversation where I agreed to disagree with somebody, and she knows who she is, so if she's listening.
Oh boy.
To disagree with you.
That's hysterical. All right. So next week, we hope to see you at High Tech. I know we're both going to be out there on the show floor. That's going to be really awesome. What are you doing for the Independence Day holiday? Anything fun?
No, I'm going to be home. I'm going to be working until the 3rd, and then on the 4th, I will be at home.
I love it. And hey, maybe I know you won't, but maybe y'all want to come out on the 6th. We're gonna be doing a big ribs and chicken barbecue over
I'll
here.
be on my.
All right. All right, everybody. I want to thank you all for being here today. This was a real fun, down and dirty show. And you're going to want to follow us for this one by subscribing wherever you get your audio podcasts. Now with the best sound of any podcast in hospitality. Of course, you could follow us online if you're watching the show, Facebook, LinkedIn, NoVacancyNews.com, and YouTube. So
Hey, Glenn, you didn't ask me a question, Glenn.
what's
You said what you can be doing, and I said I'm going to be on my boat. And what was the next question?
Yeah, you don't have a boat. What boat?
I meant to say my pool and boating.
Well, at least we know that you've got aspirations for your future over there. Right?
In 2 years, I'm going to have a beautiful boat.
That's cool, man. I am not a person who has any interest in owning a boat, although I would love to have a friend that has a boat. That would be the ideal circumstance for me.
Too bad when I get a boat, you won't have a friend that has a boat.
That's probably true. We'll find out who my true friends are at that point. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on and
Be kind to yourself.
see y'all eventually. Not next week because we're